Today's video, real estate mistakes that new agents make. There are a few of them, and this goes along with this series of what you should do to get started in real estate. Now, let's talk about mistakes that I see happening. I onboard a lot of agents that are brand new to real estate, and somehow they miss the little things that really are important when selling real estate. And by little things, I mean how to actually open the front door. I know, you're like, how is someone going to miss that little thing? I want you to remember to like and subscribe to this video because that's not the only thing that people are missing in real estate. And the series of videos that we have going here are going to teach you how to be a better agent, how to convert more leads, and how to make more money faster. Let's get back to how to open the front door and why that's a common mistake. For instance, I got a phone call the other day from an agent that was like, Liz, there's this lockbox here and I don't even know why. How do I open it? Didn't I pay for this already with the MLS? No, ma'am, no, sir. You did not already pay for it. So when you go to pay your fees, there's a couple of them. There's your National Association of Real Estate, there's the local, and then there's the MLS, and then there's the lockbox access fees that you're going to pay. So what I want you to remember is that to get started, there's fees to start, but don't forget that little one, which is the actual paying to get lockbox access. I'm not talking about paying for the actual lockbox, the physical lockbox. That's another fee. Yeah, there's a lot of fees in real estate. Welcome to the game. So I want you to remember that you need Century Connect, or you need Supra, or whatever it is, wherever you live, you need actual lockbox access. So the way you find it, I want you to Google, ask the Google, or call your local MLS. And the lady at the front desk or the man at the front desk will say, this is how you do it, this is the way to do it, and they'll get you all set up. Now, I want you to remember to please, please, please do this before you show your first house to your first client. I know you think that is just an obvious thing. It is not. I can't tell you how many agents wait to go show a house to their first real client and then cannot get in the front door because they didn't do this before. So I want you to go show a house to yourself as soon as possible. Here's how you do it. You make sure you have access to the MLS, and then you have access to the lockbox, and then you schedule a showing. Depending where you live, you might have something called showing time. Showing time makes it so you can make an appointment without talking to anyone. It's magic and it's beautiful, but not every agent has it and not every area has it. So if you have it, go ahead, click on the button and make a little appointment and get a confirmation before you go to the house. Do not go early. Do not go late. Go during the window that you have scheduled. Because if there's someone living in that house, you want to make sure that they are out of the house when you go show it. So you've made the appointment, you show up at the house, you walk to the front door and you find the lockbox. If you cannot find the lockbox, I want you to read in the private remarks of the MLS where that lockbox might be. Maybe it's around the back of the house, maybe it's on a side door, maybe it's in front of the garage, maybe it's hidden somewhere. If you can't find it, it's not at the front door, read the remarks to find it. Then you use the Bluetooth on your phone, it's a little appy poo. Yes, I said appy poo, it's fine. Use that app to let it read your face. That's usually how it works. Or there's a little code or something and talks back and forth to the lockbox, and then it's going to release the key, and then you can go in the front door. When you're showing your first house to yourself, I want you to do a few things. This is another common mistake. You don't know how to read the MLS, like the sheet that tells you all about the house. Because when you show this house to your first buyer, they're going to rattle off questions to you. How much it is, how big it is, how many bedrooms it has, how big the yard is. All these questions, rapid fire. And I need you to be prepared for those rapid fire questions. And if you're not, you're going to look like a fool. That's another mistake. That's the second mistake I see. A, not being able to get the front door open, and B, not being able to read the MLS sheet. You would think this is a given. But do you know how dumb you're going to look when you're wandering around the house not knowing where to look on the sheet to find the answer to how big the lot is? I want you not to have that mistake in your life. So make sure you know how to read that MLS sheet. The way mine reads is prices in the top right, and then you have the bedrooms kind of in the middle and the schools in the middle, and then as you go down it has bathrooms and measurements and if it's a well and a septic and what kind of gas it has. As you go down the sheet, you have how big the lot is, then you have the private remarks and the public remarks. Then as you go down, it has any other information you might need about the house. And I know exactly where to look on that sheet in order to give the information to my buyers intelligently and quickly. Now, I've trained myself that before I pull up to that house, or right as I'm pulling up, I'm going to pull up the MLS on my tablet or my phone. So when I walk into the house, it's already up. Do I do that every time? No. But I also kind of make a joke of it. Like, hold on, let me pull up my magic phone. Like, give me a second to get it together before you start rattling off these questions to me. And my buyers understand. I don't know everything about everything, but I know how to find all the answers. So we have first mistake, how to open the lockbox. Second mistake, what are you going to do about when you show the first house? And third mistake I see a lot when showing houses is they talk too much. Isn't that my job to talk? Not when you're showing houses. I want you to remember that when you're looking at a house for the first time, there's so much sensory overload. It's like, oh my gosh, so much happening here. I want you, as the agent, shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. I want you to only answer the questions they ask you and maybe point out a few things. It is your job to point out things that might be a problem in the future, but it's not your job to point out anything that really doesn't matter. And you talking to them is just distracting them from focusing on if they like this house or not. So I want you to talk less. When I show houses and I'm showing a new agent how to do it, they're like, you didn't say anything. I said things, but only the important things. Yes, only the important things. So when you're showing that house, have that sheet open so you can answer the questions, but don't be rattling off other things. Don't be distracting them. Don't be like pointing out things. No, only point out the things that are actually important that will affect the deal in the future. And if you see something that might be a concern, like how's the roof? How's the crawl space? I'm looking at the major systems of the house, why they look at the other things. So those are the top mistakes I've seen lately. If you can think of any more, put them in the comments below. Let's work together not to make these mistakes in real estate. Like and subscribe to hear more videos just like this.